on me. This is not a Renaissance fair story. This is actually a wonderful story from a gentleman named Manly Wade Wellman, who was a musician. And he wandered around the Appalachian chain, thumbing rides with a guitar on his back. And he learned all of these marvelous stories about bogles and beasties and behinders and the snatch and all of the creatures that lived in the Appalachian chain. And he wrote a series of marvelous stories about a man named John, just John, who spent his time thumbing his way around the Appalachian chain with a silver-strung guitar on his back, except that John actually ran into all the supernatural creatures. And this particular story is called Nary Spell. Remember, you can't tell on me it's not a Renaissance story. The huge amount of gossip when John got into town with his guitar on his back was about the Walnut Gap beef shoot. Everybody who had any kind of gun whatsoever was going to be shooting in a contest, and the one who actually won the contest was going to get an entire side of beef from the farmer down the way. That was the prize. Now that was enough to hold over a whole family all winter, so everybody was thinking their hardest how they were going to win this shooting contest. Now, old Morley, he actually took, some folks said, nothing was proved and he wouldn't tell. Some folks said he took the tin that he was casting the bullets and poured it through the eye of a skull and muttered certain words over the bullets so they would fly super true. Meanwhile, Johnny, who wasn't all that swift, but he was usually a fairly good shot, Johnny from the next holler over was intended. He had his new rifle, and the thing that he was going to do is he was going to load in a bat's liver and heart with his bullets so that his gun would shoot true. And folks asked John, do you want to be shooting in the contest? I mean, you're going to be playing music during the day and stuff, but do you want to shoot in the contest? And John said, well, you know, I don't carry a gun. I carry a guitar on my back. And one of the guys who was standing around said, oh, I'd be more than willing to, you know, lend you my old squirrel gun if you want. And John said, thank you very kindly. I haven't shot a gun since I got out of the Army, so, you know, this ought to be a fair amount of fun. Now, John, the day of the contest, there was such a stir. You know, and the sheriff was the judge. They had put a little white diamond-shaped, only about this big, piece of paper on a tree good 50 yards away. Unless you had your glasses on, it was hard to see the target, you know, let alone the cross lines that were on it for the center. Now, Morley stepped up, and he had his gun, and he patted his special bullet and loaded it in. People were watching. Boom! Sheriff marched up, and he said, Marley's drove the cross right above the center line. He got it. It was the closest shot anybody had taken all day. I mean, most of them weren't even hitting the target, let's be honest. And then Johnny, you know, complete with black squishy stuff on his hand, marched up with his gun, preloaded. Nobody wanted to see that. Settled his foot, got himself going, kaboom! The sheriff walked out, took a look, and said, Johnny's driven across too, right below this center line. Now, the last person to shoot that day was John. And he had what in those days, the kind of gun, it was like an air pump. They called it a critter potter because he used it to pot critters out of your garden, you know. He steps up with his gun and boom! The sheriff walked out. He said, John, You won the side of beef, you know, because you drove the cross right in between the two other best shots. And everybody was staring at John. They said, John, we didn't know you could shoot like that. What kind of magic spell did you use? Nary spell, said John. It's just that back when I was in the army, I was the foremost shot in my group, and I was the foremost shot in my brigade. And then I took about second best shot in the entire army. He said, but I'll tell you what, since I'm going to be traveling on with this guitar of mine, why don't y'all divide up this side of beef amongst folks who most need it here in Walnut Gap? He said, because you've given me a story to tell, and Mr. Wellman is one to me as well. I will be back here at 1:30 tomorrow. Enjoy the fair. Thank you very much for coming.